honorable members that the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters reported on the bill committed to it, and that is the People's with Disabilities Bill 2020. The report was adopted on Monday, the 14th of June, 2021, and today is a consideration stage for the said bill. And I did also indicate that during the consideration stage, honorable members shall have the opportunity to give detailed consideration and scrutiny to every clause and schedule in the bill, and that the stage also provides the first opportunity for amendments to the bill to be debated and voted on. And then I stopped at where I suspended the sitting, where I said I would now resolve the assembly into the committee of the whole assembly to give consideration to the bill entitled Persons with Disability Bill 2020. But honorable members, during the course of the break, I came up with some unforeseen circumstances, and I have cause to leave, in which case I'm putting it to the House to allow the honorable majority leader to take over the chair and preside. And I looked at the provisions of the Constitution, and the House has to agree to elect a member to preside. I'm surprised that we've been doing it and nobody brought it to our attention all these, in fact, years, is it? But I think it's better late than never to do the right thing. So, and that has been the practice, and I understand it's also the practice in most jurisdictions, that in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, the majority leader will always preside. But in our standing orders, it has to be elected by the House. So I want to put this here. It was brought up by Honorable Magasi, I understand, member for Basse. So I want to put it to the vote. If the honorable members agree to the honorable majority leader to preside over today's proceedings. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So thank you very much for your understanding. Sometimes certain things just crop up without notice, personalities. So the assembly now resolves into committee of the whole assembly. Thank you. So you just... Thank you very much, honorable members. The Assembly now go into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the Persons with Disabilities Bill 2020, either section by section or clause by clause. In so doing, we will be guided and assisted by the committee's report on the bill and clause 72 of the standing orders during the consideration stage. Thank you very much. I believe everybody has a copy of the report. Do we? Sorry, Vice Chair? You have a copy? Everybody has a copy of the report?
They should have. It was given to all of them.
Pardon? Yes.
Why not part by part?
Sorry? Okay.
Well, even if it's a part, we go close by
Sorry,
close.
I can't hear you.
So you take slow.
You hardly hear. Honorable Woolley West.
When you take the slow,
Woolley
you take
West.
close by close.
Woolley West, your microphone. Okay. Use it.
You are saying close by close.
Okay. Yes. In fact, thank you very much. We, on behalf of all honorable members, the Assembly Service, and indeed on my own behalf, we wish to apologize to our friends here present that unfortunately there are some works going on within the Assembly, as a result of which the lifts, both of them, are not working. So we apologize and hope that very soon we will finish, in fact, with the bill as soon as possible to avoid them going and coming. In fact, when I saw some of them just earlier on going for lunch, I had to call them back and ask them to go to the VIP, and that the lunch will be provided for them, and it was brought. I hope that was done. It was done. Okay, thank you very much. Yes. We apologize, our apologies. Sometimes these things do happen. Thank you very much, Honorable, for bringing it up to our attention. Yes, Clark, you proceed. Yes, I've seen it. I'm looking for my red pen. It's all right.
Thank you. Bill Persons with Disability Bill 2021. Clause 1, short title and commencement.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, it is proposed that Clause 1, short title and commencement, stand part of the bill. Honorable Vice Chair, do you have anything?
Yes, we made a recommendation to change the 2020. Instead of Act 2020, should now read Act 2021. That's one recommendation we made there for the short title.
With page 4 of your report, earlier on where it's under 10. Can you guide us, please?
I say page 4 of the bill. Everybody should look at page 4 of the bill. Short title and commencement. The recommendation is to change 2020 to 2021.
On that, honorable members? No? Okay, it is proposed that Clause 1, short title, sorry, yes, honorable.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think where I can remember what we proposed, that not persons with disabilities, but persons living with disabilities in order to match the UN Convention for the rights of persons living with disabilities.
Did you get that?
No, that's a new input. We need to, she needs to write that if she wants us to consider it.
If I can remember, it was put there, but maybe it was not captured, but I can write it.
Yes. Maybe we'll expedite the process by just having it down. You can send it across, but then we will proceed. It's a proposal. Huh? You've heard the proposal. So it is proposed that clause 1, short title and commencement, stand part of the bill as amended. Oh, sorry. Honorable Minister, do you have any views on that? Do you? Okay. Yes, okay. Thank you. Yes.
Where you have civil society, the paragraph beginning with civil society, definition and interpretation rather.
It is proposed that clause 1, short title and commencement, stand part of the bill with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Thank you.
Clause 2, interpretation.
Thank you very much. It is proposed that clause 2, interpretation, stand part of the bill. Yes, Sarah Kunda.
Well, I have a proposal.
Last time I did indicate that we need more hands to be helping.
Yeah. I have a proposal on affirmative action. Affirmative action. So maybe ask the committee to give their own proposal, then I'll make mine.
Yes, that was this proposal from him. As I said, we had a debate on that one, and we did change something there. In fact, we add with, but then on a second note, we want to wait for his definition to come so that we can look at that.
All right, thank you very much. So I will be submitting this, Honorable Chair, that affirmative action means special measures adopted by every public institution or private enterprise as set out in this Act, aimed at accelerating de facto equality between disabled persons and other members of society who are not subjected to any form of discrimination. If you look at the Women's Act, you will see that the Section 15 is precisely designed to introduce special measures to eradicate discrimination. And we should take that form of formulation. So I here submit.
That is very substantive in terms of what you have just read. Maybe it will also help the chair to, actually, I think even the rules provide that you do it. There's a time
We
frame.
submit it, yeah. It's being submitted, yeah.
Otherwise, you submit it. But in view of the fact that it is a little bit long and very substantive, we may probably need to have a look at it prior to. There is a proposal on the floor by the honorable member. Yes, I know. I'm just reading the proposal. I just want to read the proposal. I'll give you an opportunity, or any other honorable member who wants to come in before finally giving the floor to the Honorable Minister. He is saying that affirmative action means special measures adopted by every public institution or private enterprise as set out in this Act, aimed at accelerating de facto equality between disabled persons and other members of society who are not subjected to any form of discrimination. Now, considering, Honorable, what the proposal that the amendment that has just been made, people living with disability. I'm just reading this sentence, equality between disabled persons, whether just to, so that it will be in line. You know, we use the same language, people living with disabilities. So if you can just amend that. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes. Right.
Honorable Chair, since we are going to come up with this throughout, why don't we just accept that across the board, everywhere, wherever that's precisely what should be done? I think that will help us.
Sorry. Okay.
Thank you. Let me just read the proposed amendment. Affirmative action, special measures adopted by every public institution or private enterprise as set out in this Act, aimed at accelerating de facto equality between persons living with disability and other members of society who are not subjected to any form of discrimination. And I was expecting it wherever it appears in the Act, it will change automatically or be amended to persons living with disability. That's the proposal. Thank you. Any more? Yes, I know. Any more on the affirmative action?
Yes. There is, when we had the report led, the recommendation is for the ministry also to come with another definition, if this one, a proposed definition. And what they came with is affirmative action means policies and practices for persons with disabilities to remedy an imbalance and provide equality like any other person. That is the suggestion that comes from them. So we can look at
It sounds basically, they're very similar. Maybe to use the language of Honorable Member for Woolly West, the two can be married and I'm sure they will come through. But anyway, let's hear, no, it's not Nyamina, it's Upper Salum. Yes, it's okay. I know it's Upper Salum. And then we hear the version from the Honorable Minister.
Yes, I tend to agree with the one for Serekunda. Because these are special measures that are adopted by institutions, not like the people living with disabilities. These are special measures that are adopted by public and private institutions to actually support or to sustain those people living with disabilities. So I would rather go with the member for Serekunda, actually, the definition here.
I think I could recall the honorable member for Serekunda was trying to relate, if I get him right, like what special measures are defined in the Women's Act. If that is to go by that, means trying to reconcile the two. I think it's a point that could be noted.
Any more suggestions, observations? No? Yeah, Honorable Minister, thank you.
Thank you very much. I've just been informed by our technicians that the earlier amendment, internationally, it is persons with disability, not persons living with disability. Yes, it's internationally persons with disability.
Being told by the Honorable Minister that she's just received advice that the internationally recognized phrase is persons with disabilities as opposed to persons living with disabilities. So,
Persons with disability. It's persons with disability.
Disability.
Yes.
As opposed to persons living with disabilities. So I don't know how we go about it. We had already voted on it, so maybe we can, if we agree, we rescind.
Can I come in?
Yeah. Let's hear before the Vice.
Yes, I want us to look at our geographical environment here. As the people affected, for me, I want to believe that is somehow discriminatory. It's somehow discriminatory because it's not friendly. And normally what most people propose is persons differently able. So there is no disability who cannot do something. You have some ability. But if you say person with disability, it means that person cannot do anything absolutely. And that is why, for me, the what I appreciate most is people differently able. We are able in a different way. That is. But internationally, if you have to take that standard, then okay, that's my proposal.
Yes, I think somehow we are not trying to open a new debate on this matter. I could recall this was strongly debated during our retreat. The expert that was sent to represent the disabled community also had the same position, that is the international standard for this is persons with disability, unquote, TWD. That's why we have that. So the issue of trying to bring in another, interpretation or format, I don't think we are at that stage. If Madam Honorable nominated member was trying to say that was how she recalled, but honestly, at the retreat, this was the technical advice that was given to us, that the international standard is this format.
We should not debate more on this. Since this is what people say, let's continue with what is happening. So for me, I don't have any issue with that.
Yes, Wooly West.
It's a simple issue of semantics, but they are not the same. People living with disabilities, and people with disabilities are not necessarily semantically the same. So I go for what she is recommending: people with disability.
Thank you.
I move that we rescind the decision earlier taken and then adopt.
Needs to move that we rescind that. Yes, Seka.
I rise to second the motion so that we continue.
Seconded. It has been moved and seconded that the earlier decision to amend the word living with disability be rescinded, and it is hereby rescinded. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. That decision is rescinded, and then the original, am I right? The original version states living, I'm sorry, persons with
disabilities.
Yes.
Disabilities. Yeah.
Can we get the correct version from the Honorable Minister so that, please, can we write it down and then we take a vote so that it will be captured in the final. Yes. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. When we say persons, then we say with disabilities. It's persons with disabilities. Yeah, yeah, because we are saying, yeah, it's correct as it is. Persons with disabilities. Yes, thank you.
It's proposed, please, one meeting. It is proposed that the short title and, yes.
It's not person with disability. It should be persons with disabilities. Yeah. No, we said this.
Thank you very much. It is proposed that short title and commencement stand part of the bill. Those in favor? Yes, as amended. 2021. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So clause 1, short title and commencement now stand part of the bill as amended. Thank you. Then we go to clause 2.
Yes. Clause 2, interpretation.
It is proposed that clause 2, interpretation, stand part of the bill. As I said, we had earlier on received a proposal from the Honorable Member for Serekunda dealing with affirmative action. And I think I had read it earlier on that it means special measures adopted by every public institution or private enterprise as set out in this act, aimed at accelerating de facto equality between persons with disabilities and other members of society who are not subjected to any form of discrimination. This is the proposal from the Honorable Member. There was an other proposal. Was it from the Vice Chair? Okay. Banjul, no?
Honorable Chair, for civil society.
No, we are dealing.
Sir, do you have any views on the affirmative action?
I think I'm fine with the proposal. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. So it is proposed that clause. We take all the amendments on the clause before we take a vote on it. Okay. Now we have any further proposals on page. You are on page 5, honorable. Yours is here. I'm holding it. Any more on page 4?
Yes.
Okay, civil society.
No, before that.
Further?
Before that.
Before that, yes.
Auxiliary aids.
Auxiliary aids and services.
Yeah, no, but the phrase auxiliary aids baffles me because auxiliary itself is aid. Aid. So what exactly are you, because I don't think this is.
What are you proposing?
Auxiliary is aid. Aid is aid.
Let us have it.
Now, before I write, I want us to look at it first.
It has to be written and then debated before we take a vote.
So what is that? What are you trying to say there? Or what are they trying to say? Yeah, no, the definition, but the phrase itself, auxiliary is aid, aid is aid. So what is what?
Are you proposing that it be deleted?
No, I'm saying it to make it more meaningful.
You need to give us your proposal. What are you proposing? So that we'll make some progress.
Chair, I'm not sure whether he is. Do you have our report? Yes. You know, we made a proposal for change of definition. That's what.
Are you convinced by the vice chair? Let's try to make some progress.
Chair, you know, the committee made recommendations. So don't you think we should state our recommendation first? And if anybody has any other recommendation, can come later.
I've always said that we would be guided by the report of the committee. So it is for you to lead us.
Yes. So let's
lead us, and then.
So the recommendations in the interpretation section. One, advisory committee. The committee is recommending that it change to. Well, before we come to the change of name, advisory committee means the advisory committee for persons with disabilities. And then advisory council, it is recommended that advisory committee be changed to advisory council with disabilities, for persons with disabilities. Affirmative action, we've already done that. We'll go by what we have just approved. So auxiliary aids and services. Our recommendation is that it would include qualified readers, interpreters, sign language interpreters and guides, tape text, audio, visual and pictorial recording, braille equipment, large print and braille materials, tactile equipment, orthopedic appliances and other devices and services that support persons with disabilities to participate effectively in all aspects of life. That's what it would mean. That's our recommendation. Then civil society.
For it to be coherent, can we allow, since there was somebody
since he has
raised it, before you come to the next? I know there are some proposals on civil society, if we have anything to communication, so that we go step by step. Honorable Woolley West, this is the proposal.
Well, I'm not really happy with the combination auxiliary aids, but things we are defining it, like the other definitions which are there, which appear to me very funny. But maybe it's okay. This is what you mean. But
I wasn't following.
yes?
I said, I am sorry, I wasn't following, so I did not get your...
I'm saying the combination auxiliary and aids appears to me funny, but since they are defining it the way they want it to be defined, fine. But, well,
See, yes, they have amended and they have read it a little bit different from what was originally in the act. So, do you have any reservations or suggestions to what they have proposed?
Supplementary aids.
supplementary aids.
Huh? What?
Anything else on that paragraph, honorable members?
Well, auxiliary gadgets or appliances.
Appliances, I have seen here pictorial recording, braille equipment, braille audio, blah, 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 and other devices and services.
Everything is there.
I think it appears to be all inclusive. Yes, Sarakunda. Honorable members, this side.
Yes, I think the honorable member for Woolly West is saying combining auxiliary and aids, which appears to mean the same. Aids here means gadgets and appliances, which is different from services. So why can't we not just auxiliary gadgets or auxiliary appliances and services? Because the appliances or gadgets include all the rest, all the technical tape recorders and all those elements. Yeah.
You're right, you want aids deleted.
It's replaced by
something.
appliances or gadgets.
So that's Ma, just a second, Honorable, we'll come then. I want to get it from you, Honorable. So what are you proposing? Auxiliary appliances.
Appliances, and I can add there, let me bring gadgets or gadgets, whichever is
and we remove
acceptable.
We remove aids.
Remove aids. Yeah.
Remove aids. So the proposal is for aids to be removed, deleted, and replaced by appliances.
Honorable Chair.
Yes, let's take proposals from this side.
I think before we may move with the suggestion to change appliance for gadgets, because these are technical terms, I want to believe during the consultation, experts were with us, ably guiding us. The minister is here and the technical team is here, and we seek their opinion on it before we may make the same mistake as we did for the earlier amendment that we did before. What's their take on that?
So keep gadgets.
Aids and services.
Or do further consultation before. Upper Salon.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, what I was going to say is there are certain phrases that are very unique to a particular situation. So we need to be careful. Because when you look at that phrase itself, it's linked directly to this issue we are dealing with right now. So we need to be very careful. Instead of changing, I think we should maybe allow the minister to explain. But I think this phrase is very peculiar to what we are dealing with right now.
Chair.
Well, that was what I was going to say as well, because according to this specific language, auxiliary aids and services are items or equipment that assist in effective communication. So it is the term used internationally. So I think,
Yeah, that was my question, because I think, Madam, if you give her the opportunity, she will tell you the same thing. Those of them who were there, this was a debate as well, and that was yes, at the debate.
Thank you very much, Ma. In fact, what I got from my people is it should not be auxiliary, but auxiliary aids. In fact, I have written it and it is coming to you. It should not be auxiliary. It should be auxiliary aid.
Ancillary.
Aids, yeah.
Why don't we now allow the Honorable Minister to come and probably clarify? Or Serakunda, you still want the floor? Your microphone is on, Serakunda. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Looking at the list, I've just been advised technically that it should be technical aids and services. Because if you look at the list, these are all technical aids. So instead of auxiliary aids, it should read technical aids. Technical technical, because these are all technical aids. If you look at the list, from visual and pictorial recording, braille equipment, large print, it's technical aid, technical aid.
So I think this, what is here, is exactly what we have gathered from a meeting with other stakeholders. So these are the correct things we gathered from them. If they want to change again, I will be surprised. Well, almost all of them, when we came, this is what they recommend to us as a committee. So if they want to change it now, or maybe. But almost all these stakeholders is what they have.
I think we can change. That's the purpose of this session. We can change. And then we've got the advice from the minister. I think technical is appropriate. We can change it.
Well, I know that the jargon mobility aid is utilized to show crutches, wheelchairs. Those are mobility aids. But here we're looking for a generic word that covers everything. And what has been said, auxiliary and aid, is, you are talking about the same thing. So how do we cover what we want to say? The minister said technical aid. Well, if that is what is utilized, then that is okay. We should take that. Here, if auxiliary gadgets, that's a new invention. So what is important is what is standard and accurate.
It was technical.
I don't think it should be difficult for us to come to something because we know what exactly we are talking about. We are talking about what is needed to help. And they have been listed here. And she's used the term, which is fine, technical aids. These are all technical matters anyway. Technical aids and services.
Yes, I think, Honorable Minister, I think we can move forward. We agree on the word technical. Now, yes.
I think the honorable
nominated.
I think what the honorable member for Serekunda said also makes some sense because auxiliary aid, it assists in effective communications, and this one it says to participate effectively in all aspects of life. So it means also movement and other sorts. When we say auxiliary aid, it only helps in effective communications between a person who has hearing, vision, or speech disability. I think we should consider.
So look at the word, it's not exclusive, it includes the technical aids, and if we agree on technical, includes the whole range of
Chair.
Yes, it includes qualified readers, interpreters, sign language interpreters, and the list goes on and on and on. So, my Honorable, no, you had a chance. It was Lower Salon.
Yes, let's go by the minister's advice because I also Google it. I see technical aid. So let's go by his advice.
Yes, I think that's what I also wanted to say. The definition given to technical aids as some support to effective communication by enabling individuals to understand and interact with people around them. So I think the minister got it right that the term for this could be technical aid.
Yes, what we were told was that auxiliary aids is secondary, is any other support that you can give to a disabled person. That's what it means. So here it's saying not only, but it's also including services. So it's the materials as well as the services that they are providing. That's what they put together here as auxiliary aids. So, but if C comes with technical aid, we can. I don't mind.
It is proposed. Oh, sorry, no. We go to the next. Thank you. Honorable members, may I at this point take leave, National Assembly, and allow the majority leader to preside.
No, okay.
So do we all agree with technical aids as proposed by the minister? Yes, so let's proceed now.
Yes, Chair, sorry, before I come in.
Civil society, we just made a little adjustment there. It says, means non-government actors, including community-based organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, of and for persons with disabilities, private sector organizations, trade union and professional organizations. That's what we consider to be civil society.
Chair, sorry. No, that's, Chair, in this civil society means the A should go off. I think they have also eliminated. You've done that. Okay, so that's it. It's okay.
Banjul note.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, with civil society, the amended version, civil society means non-government actors. I am proposing that instead of non-government, because it might be a narrow definition, we say non-state actors, because that would imply that Parliament is a state institution and parliamentarians are not factored. They are outside of the non-civil society. The judiciary, officials at the judiciary as well. So to capture them, I think it's appropriate if we say non-state actors, including government. When you say non-state, government is included, the legislature is included, and the judiciary. That's my... And another proposal also, if, Honorable Chair, if we are going, I guess that they have already presented their report, it was adopted. So all that they've recommended here stands, unless members have something different. Otherwise, if you allow the chair to be reading everything, we might stay here very late. Otherwise, so let's just assume that what they have presented as a report that was adopted at the last session, the last sitting, stands, unless some honorable members have something to change, or they themselves have something to change. Yes, that way, yes.
Sarah Kunda.
Honorable Chair, in terms of civil society, what I have is means federations, associations, and unions established by persons, excluding political associations, aim at pursuing civil, economic, social, cultural, and environmental objectives. To introduce state, non-state, that's really not the issue. And because civil servants ultimately would have their unions, etc. So essentially what is important here is Section 25, which gives every Gambian the right to freedom of association, including forming unions. But here, civil society, we want to exclude the political dimension, political associations. That's my recommendation. And I can send it.
Chair, do you still want to maintain the recommendation made by the committee during the...
That's what we have. I think they are coming with the proposal, but for us, this is what we have agreed on. Non-government actors, including government-based organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, for persons with disabilities, private sector organizations, trade union, and professional organizations. That's what we have agreed with our
on the interpretation
proposals and then.
See, is the difference between what we have agreed and what Honorable Serakunda is saying. I don't see that difference. What is the difference there? Can we help?
So we have the report here, the recommendation made by the committee which was adopted. So do we want to change to discuss the new proposals that we have from Serekunda and also Banjul North, and then allow the minister to come out to advise? Willie West?
I think the essence of asking is giving a task to a committee is precisely that. I think we should leave the committee to tell us what they have done. And that's it. Then if you have anything to add or to take from it, fine. But give us your report.
I said our report is saying civil society, what we have agreed, that is our report, means non-government actors, including community-based organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations of and for persons with disabilities, private sector organizations, trade union, and professional organizations. They must be linked to persons with disability. They cannot be any organizations. They must be organizations made for or of persons with disabilities. In this bill, that's what we want it to be.
Kunda, then we'll hear from the minister.
Yes, we can adopt anything and move as fast as possible. But here the problem is civil society means non-governmental actors, full stop. All the rest is including something. So the definition means non-governmental actors. What is non-government actors? So civil society must be an association. Anybody can be a non-government actor. So what is being emphasized in that definition is the essence that we are talking about, associations. And an association of persons with objects. And here the object is those living with disabilities or persons with disabilities. That does not matter in this instance. It's just civil society we are defining. It's the generic word that we are defining. It will incorporate the rest.
Civil society. Any organization made or any organizations made for or of persons, combining members of the disability community. Is that what you are saying?
I'm saying that the definition incorporates any association for or of persons with disabilities.
Yes.
I say it includes that definition that I gave. This one says civil society means a non-governmental actors. And you remove the A, so it means non-governmental actors. That's the definition. The rest is including. So it's telling you what it includes. Well, I'm saying that's not a sufficient definition of civil society, because it's about the associations that are formed to be civil social, economic, cultural, ecological, environmental. These are the civil societies, but they should not be politically motivated.
Brikama North, you have any comments make on this one?
Thank you very much. I agree with the House. All I want to add is that for consistency, anywhere we have organization, we add an S. Yes, like we said, civil society means non-government actors, including a community-based organization. That's fine, because we said A. But then non-government organizations, faith-based organizations of and for persons with disabilities, private sector organizations, trade union, and professional organizations. For all of those, we add S. But where it says A, that one can leave as it is. Can be left as it is. The first one, a community-based organization. Because of A, we leave that as it is, but all the others should have S at the end. All the other organizations should have S at the end. Thank you very much.
Communication, huh? Yes.
Can I?
Will the West?
No, for me, if you look at this definition, civil society means non-government actors. Why do you have this word including? The word including is serving what there is. For me, it makes comprehension even more difficult. So why not just simply say non-government actors, comma, a community-based organization or community-based organizations, but these non-governmental organizations, what is the difference between non-government actors and non-governmental organizations? Why do you have to have these two? They mean almost the same thing anyway. Non-government actors are non-governmental organizations anyway. So why do you have to have all these things there like that? It's like repetition.
Vice Chair?
So I was thinking that if we say civil society means, like you said, community-based organizations. Any organization that is linked to, is either formed by disabled people or is formed for them, is what is considered civil society in this bill. That's what we want to have. So we can take out non-government actors, including, we take that out, and we just say community-based organizations such as we have there. Yes. Civil society means community-based organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations,
of and
for persons with disabilities, private sector, etc., etc. We take out the including, non-government actors including, we take that out. Yes. Yes.
So the definition that you gave here, Honorable Vice Chair, where will you place the Gambia Association of the Disabled? Where will you place them? The Federation, GFD. Any other comment? Yes. Civil society, the proposal here from Honorable Member for Upper Salem is civil society organization is any non-profit voluntary citizens group which is organized on a local, national, or international level. Brikama North.
the Vice Chair is trying to reconcile that we move away non-government actors, including, and just go straight to the point, to begin with community-based organization, and then there it continues.
I support that. I withdraw mine and I support that one.
Okay. So the proposal is...
Yes, I withdraw mine too.
So the proposal from the Vice Chair is now noted, and that will be the new definition for civil society organization.
So that's what we've got. Community-based organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, of and for persons with disabilities. Then you have private sector organizations, trade unions, and professional bodies, or professional organizations.
We also have to make sure that they align, because some say organizations, others we say organization. So all have to be plural.
Yeah, they are all with us.
No, some of them are not with us.
Vice Chair, can you lead us, please?
Now, the recommendation is with everybody. If anyone has anything new, if you don't accept this, then you can come. Otherwise, it is deemed that this is already approved after the report is laid.
Communication? Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, but you know, for me, you say a village means a village community. What does that mean?
No?
A ward means a ward committee. A council means a council committee. What does that mean? The last one on your page, not the bill. Committee, where you have committee when used in relation to. A committee when used in relation to a village, it means a village committee. Yeah, page 4. I have page 4. Yeah, page 4.
Page 4, huh?
Yes, page 4, the last one. Now, because if you say a village means a village committee, for me it can lend to interpretation, means two types of interpretation anyway. It can mean there is a committee, a whole village is a committee, or there is a committee in the village. It can mean both. So, and it should be very clear. Laws are meant to be very clear. Chair, are you following?
Yes. We are just looking at the page that we are. Yeah.
For me, these definitions.
The committee that we're talking about, page 4, the bottom.
They are ambiguous. Yeah. That means they can be interpreted in many ways. Okay. Because if you say village committee, if village means a village committee, it can be either the whole village is a committee, or there is a committee in the village has to be a particular committee inside the village. It can mean both. So which is which?
But Chair?
No, it does not mean that. When we say a committee, we mean a committee. A committee for persons with disability. They form a committee in a village. They form a committee in a ward, in a council, in a region, in a municipality. The whole village cannot be a committee. They will form a committee. That's what it means.
A village committee?
When you say a village committee, it means the committee formed for persons with disability in the village.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's not necessary.
Serakunda?
The purpose of the definition is really to help interpret the text itself. So if you look at clause 16, we should not be jumping there. I think just for reference purposes, it said that there shall be in every village or ward a committee, area council committee, a region committee, municipal committee, and city council committee. It seems like it's meant for the act itself to provide for these committees of the people living with disabilities or people with disabilities, persons with disabilities. Endorsing. I don't know whether that covers anything, but again, that's true. Yes, that's true. So committee should be well defined. Means, how do we define it then?
Means committee.
Means, it should means.
Committee formed for persons with disability. Disability. That's what committee means.
So this committee means committee of these people, persons living with disabilities. Committee means
body formed. A body formed for persons with disabilities.
It's not association of persons with disabilities.
So it's a committee for them on their behalf.
Committee of persons with disabilities. Committee means
a body formed for persons with disabilities.
A body formed
for or on behalf of persons with disabilities.
What a village means village committee. What does a village means village committee?
That committee is what should be defined. So, yeah, that's where it is not defined.
Clause 16 is very clear. I think if you just read clause 16, everything's clear. He said village, ward, area council, regional, municipal, city council, and district committees, there shall be in every village or ward a committee. Huh? That's very clear now. But I'm saying it is not so clear in your interpretation.
Yes.
I think what is lacking is the interpretation of that committee. Then if that is interpreted, that will guide us.
Yes. Yes, I was going to put him on a point of order because you should address the chair. Thank you. For me, I think there is no need to define committee here. I think the committee, the definition is not relevant. I think we should just leave it at what the clause 16 says, and then it's fine. Because committee, when you talk about committee, everybody knows what the committee is. So I think to avoid confusion, we should just explain that definition of committee and just move on. Yeah.
I think there's a need to define committee. If you go to villages, you have different forms of committees. But specifically, this committee is for persons with disability. Let's try to align the committee to persons with disability. And doing that is to try to define the committee.
That is already in the
proposal given by the vice chair, I think can help.
Okay. Honorable Basse, and then the minister will.
Mr. Chair, for consistency purpose and to avoid discrimination at any level, anytime if you see a committee whatsoever, of and for, so that not only the disabled, but those are also willing to be part of them, to assist them. But if you leave it to disabled only, and you don't have that character, so that means you are not part of the committee. And we are trying to go away from discrimination in any stage. So I will rather propose, if committee is going to be defined as he said, in addition to his definition, of and for. And we complete the sentence. Thank you.
That's what the text in it's captured in the text of the bill in that manner. Thank you. Honorable Minister. Minister, yes, you have any comment?
Thank you very much. Initially, we had schedules, and this was deleted to be replaced by, in section 16, by various committees. And it should now, section 16 should now read village, ward, area council, regional, municipal, city council, and district committees. And 16.1 should read, there shall be a committee in every A, village, B, ward, C, district, D, area council, E, region, F, municipality, and G, city council. This is the right thing which should have been in this document. And then the functions of each and every one is also highlighted, and also the compositions.
Okay. When we reach to clause 16, then
yeah,
we'll
we
deal
have
with
not
that.
reached
Yeah, we have not reached to that stage now. When we reach to...
But again, even for the definition of committee, let's look at what is here. It says, committee, when used in relation to a village, means a village committee. When it is used in relation to a ward, it means a ward committee. When used in relation to a council, it means a council committee. When used in relation to a region, it means a regional committee. And when used in relation to a municipality, it means a municipal council committee.
So it's consistent with 16, eh? When we get to 16, then we will, yeah.
Honorable Chair, to my understanding, this is not the problem. The problem is we want to now interpret the word committee. What does it mean? We want to define it. We want to interpret it. What does it mean in this context? What word committee means? If there's no need, we now applause. Chair.
Why don't we suspend this one and then move on until we get to 16, then we define it.
Yes.
I've been raising my tag since. I've been raising my tag.
You're in the wrong place, that's why.
Because I'm working with her, that's why.
Yes. Okay. Do we have any? D? No, we are dealing with communication now. That's on page 5. Where are you getting your 16 from?
Are you looking at page 5 of the bill or page 5 of the report? Yes. I think I've submitted something, isn't it? The definition of disability.
Means a person with the physical, intellectual, sensory, or mental impairment or other conditions that require special measures to prevent any limitation of functional capacity or the encountering of attitudinal, environmental, and institutional barriers. That's the proposal from member for Serap. And it continues, which may be neglected by society and allowed to serve as a barrier or hindrance to the full enjoyment of the rights and benefits that all persons are entitled to. Okay, then another one, we have two from Honorable Magasia, disability, interpretation. Disability is long-term with decided to and read include hearing and physical can you read it?
Yes, I would just say now to delete the word having long term. Why long term physical? How can you determine that? Long term.
Long term
just
be deleted to?
Voila. Just to remove the terminology long term, and the rest is okay.
Any other proposal? Disability. He's talking about disability.
Should I come? Okay. If you look at okay, fine. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes.
He is right about the long-term, short-term. Disability does not mean whether you are long-term or short-term. Yeah. Immediately you have disability, you have disability.
Yeah. So that was the report, the text. Serekunda?
The report did exclude the long term.
Yes.
So what it says is disability includes. I think this is where the problem is. Because rather than definition, it tells us what it includes without telling us what it is. So either we remove the includes and having and say means, physical, mental, etc. So it must be mean something that is concrete, not include something. So if they can come up with a proposal, I may concede and withdraw my own proposal. But the includes is my problem.
West?
Yes, the way it is, for me, it is not defining anything. Because it just say includes. And for me, includes and having should go off. Disability means long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments, which in interaction with various barriers may hinder. But if you put include having creates confusion. We should do away with includes and having.
But on that,
disability means physical, mental, etc. Yes, I agree.
We are defining them. Otherwise.
I agree with them. Since we are giving meanings to this, it should be disability means physical, mental, intellectual, and it just goes on. So by saying includes, we are giving examples.
Honorable Chair, can you also give us respect and give us the floor when we ask for it? I've been raising my tag since.
I think you need to go back to a place to make it easier for us, because it's becoming very difficult to identify where you are. So if you can go back to your seat, that will make it. No, go back to your seat. I think that will be better. No, that's what I'm saying.
This chair.
Right. Banjul North, South. Yes. Okay. Okay. Any comments? 7. We have the recommendation from the committee. Any comments other than that of the committee?
Do you have something?
Honorable Vice Chair, before we move for the records.
Yes.
The disability, do we now agree that disability means physical, mental, intellectual, sensory, visual or hearing impairment and condition which in interaction with various barriers may hinder full and effective participation in society on equal basis with others. So will that be the new disability?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So let's now move to Disabled People's Organization. We have one proposal from Honorable Magasi of Basi. He's proposing that Disabled People's Organizations be changed to Persons with Disability Organization.
Sorry. No, our report is saying organization of persons with disabilities. That's our recommendation, which was accepted by the.
In agreement, he has a new proposal.
Satya, they are now speaking my language. You know, my concern here, if you are dealing with people, persons with disability, that terminology, persons. So we have here people. I'm just calling attention on the word persons. So whether organization come first or come at last, that's not important to me.
Vice Chair, what's the phrase from the Vice Chair? Let's hear from the Vice Chair. The Vice Chair. What phrase I?
Organization of persons with disabilities. OPD.
Do you have extra report there?
For the committee.
Yeah, the thing is, our recommendations were made in consultation with the association as well. So we came into agreement. So I think before we change something, we should look at the recommended, what the committee recommends, and then work based on that, because that was agreed with the people with disabilities as well.
Yeah, that's what we are doing. That's why we call on the Vice Chair to read their definition to us. So now we have Honorable Member for Basse. So do we have any further comments, or are we going ahead with this recommendation? Yes.
The member for Basse has withdrawn.
Can you please withdraw your statement?
I withdraw mine.
Okay, thank you. Let's proceed.
So just this well-being.
Yes.
The word well-being there should have a hyphen between well and being.
Okay.
They are together. Okay. That's the only thing.
Okay. Good. So we go to discrimination. Okay. Then we continue to employee. Employee on page 7 of the report, employee. We have the recommendation from the committee. Any further comments which different from that of the committee on employees? Okay. 10, inclusion. Serekunda.
I have made a proposal, it's submitted.
Yes, okay.
Inclusion is right there.
Okay, inclusion is
Page
here.
7.
Okay.
Page
The
7.
proposal from member for Serekunda is inclusion means the process whereby people or society ensures integration of all persons to participate in contribute to and define, drive equal benefit from the socio-economic development of a country. That's the definition from the member for Serekunda. On the you want me to read it again? The proposal from the member for Serekunda is inclusion means the process whereby people or society ensures integration of all persons to participate in, contribute to, and drive equal benefits from the socio-economic development of a country. That's the proposal from member for Serekunda. Honorable Minister, do you have any view on the definition for inclusion, different from the two that we have now?
Thank you very much. What we have on page 6 is in line with what is in the convention. It has been expunged from the convention, so we cannot change it. And for most of these definitions have been expunged from the convention, so we cannot change them. They're in line with the convention.
Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Well, so that we will not cause any delay, we'll move, but your convention ultimately is inadequate.
Okay.
Sorry, can I observe this? Sorry. Yeah.
Member for Jara West, yes.
Thank you. Just these two words I'm trying to compare. In inclusion, to eliminate barriers in order to accommodate. That's these two words, elimination and accommodation. I'm just thinking if we can use the word share with persons with disability to participate in and contribute to that society. The word accommodate is what I am saying, whether we can change that word to share or any better word than that. Inclusion. Because to me, accommodate looks so compromised.
What's your view on this, the proposal? Let
it remain as it is. It has been expunged from the convention. This is how it is in the convention.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we respect that it's what's in the convention. So does that mean that the recommendation of the committee is dropped then? Because there's a slight recommendation from what you.
I think there was a misunderstanding when it comes to the committee.
Because what is your proposal, Honorable Chair? The proposal of the minister is inclusion means the process whereby people or society value and respect diversity as part of life and thus minimizes barriers in order to accommodate persons with disabilities to participate in and contribute to that society. But we recommended to be amended to inclusion means the process whereby people or society value and respect diversity as part of life and thus eliminates. That is the difference. So we ignore the recommendation based on the fact that yours is the best, is the one that is in the protocols. That is what I'm saying, so that we can bear that in mind.
That's my recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
which one? The one you are reading? Yes. Yes. Yeah. The bill, yes. That's it here. Huh? Yeah. I saying that the definition that they have in the bill was lifted from the convention. So, yes.
Can I say something?
Opasalu.
Yes, I just wanted to be clear on what convention the minister is referring to. Are you referring to the AU convention, or which one are you referring to?
The International Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Only West.
I think you should not underrate the work of committees, because they look at things critically. If you look at this, what is limiting here is the word minimize. We are not minimizing, we are eliminating. And I agree with the committee that instead of the word minimize, we should use eliminate. We are not minimizing, we are eliminating. There should be nothing between us.
With that of the bill and the committees is the two words, minimizes and eliminates. What the member for Willie West is saying is we are not minimizing anything but to eliminate. So that's the better word that he is suggesting, that we maintain that. Honorable member for Brikama.
Exactly, I think these two words were intensely debated during our review at the retreat. The advice given by the representatives is that the ultimate target is to eliminate, whereas in one way or the other you may be missing that, or you may not attain it, but that should be our objective. But if we just say minimize, it means we are just trying to measure or limit ourselves to that effort, which may not be significant.
Okay, it's noted, honorable member for Brikama North. At this juncture, can somebody move that we sit beyond 6 o'clock? We have to go up, yeah. We have to go up and then extend the time beyond 6 o'clock. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, House now resumes. Yes, Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move that
Willie West, eh? Willie West. Are you moving the motion, Willie West? Can somebody move a motion that we sit? Woolly West, you want to move a motion, please? Okay.
Honorable Speaker, I move that we sit beyond 6. And at the same time, I also move that we adjourn until tomorrow.
Seconder? It's been moved and seconded that we sit beyond. Any second? Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the second motion made by the member for Woolly West. That is, we adjourn till tomorrow.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn the session until tomorrow. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So the session now adjourns until tomorrow at 10 a.m. prompt.